Live from Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Campfire Cafe on the Equestrian Legacy Radio Network.
Cowboy's work is never done. He works hard from sun to sun. The rancher is the man that feeds us all. Now people jump and shout. They say they want the rancher out,
while the rancher is the man that feeds them all.
The rancher is the man. The rancher is the man.
He lives on credit till the fall.
With the taxes so damn high, it's a wonder that he don't die. The tax man is the man that gets it all.
Now the lawyer hangs around while the butcher cuts the pound.
The rancher is the man that feeds us all.
The preacher and the cook go strolling by the brook, while the rancher is the man that feeds them all. The rancher is the man. The rancher is the man.
He lives on credit till the fall.
But the interest that he pays takes his money all away, and the mortgage man's the man that gets it all.
Now the rancher comes to town with his wagons broken down.
The rancher is the man that feeds us all.
And the banker says he's broke 'cause the country's up in smoke. The rancher is the man that feeds them all.
The rancher is the man. The rancher is the man. He lives on credit till the fall.
Then they take their pen in hand. They put a lien on his land.
The banker is the man that gets it all. Now the government wants his land, but they don't seem to understand
that the rancher is the man that feeds us all.
'Cause if the rancher took a rest, they'd all be starving plumb to death. The rancher is the man that feeds them all. The rancher is the man. The rancher is the man.
He lives on credit till the fall.
Then they take him by the hand and they lead him off his land. The rancher is the man that feeds us all.
Now the packers want their share. 80-20's more than fair.
The rancher is the man that feeds them all.
But the markets want control,
so they sell the rancher's soul. The rancher is the man that feeds us all. The rancher is the man. The rancher is the man. He lives on credit till the fall.
Then they import Latin beef as they watch the ranchers leave.
The rancher is the man that feeds us all.
Uncle Sam's the man that gets it all.
From Nashville, Tennessee, I'm your host, Gary Holt. My co-host is my beautiful wife, the very talented Mary Kay. Hey, darling. I think she's muted.
Hey, babe. That was a great video to start with. Andy Hedges, right?
Andy Hedges and Brent Hill.
Awesome.
The rancher is the man. And kind of appropriate. I thought that song just was right on.
Yep, a perfect fit for today.
Ranchers and farmers, raising those cattle. And it's kind of hard to buy beef today.
It's
Prices are
getting
a little bit
trickier.
high.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
I was reading an article that the number of cattle has gone down in our country as well. So lots of factors playing into that, but it's,
The rancher is the man.
yes.
The rancher is the man. You had a busy weekend or a busy middle part of the week. You were just down where?
I sang with Gone with the West at Loretta Lynn's Dude Ranch. And we drove by her, the house that you see in the movie Coal Miner's Daughter. We saw that big, beautiful Southern columned house, and then we sang down by the river for people that had been on trail rides all day. It was lovely. It was such a fun night.
I held a rendezvous down at Loretta's place back in 2017. Golly,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
been a while back. And let's say we had Mickey Daniel that was there. We had Eli Barcy and John Cunningham that were there. We had, I had a whole crew that came out and performed. Mark Munzer came down from New York and performed.
It's a good lineup. It's a really good
lineup down there, and had a great time. But it was so much fun going by. Loretta was living there at the time. In that big house. And then the replica of the Coal Miner's Daughter is on
the cabin. Yes.
Yeah. And then they have the general store that's down there. So there's a whole lot to do and some great trails to ride on. So Loretta, we need to have you guys as a sponsor, Loretta Lynn's Ranch. And where is it located? Where is it located, darling?
You'll have to help me out, honey.
Hurricane Mills, Tennessee.
I'm a newcomer.
We just had that debate the other day on hurricane or hurricane. What was it you said?
In Utah, we have a town. It's spelled hurricane, but we call it hurricane.
Yeah. It's Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. We're in the South, darling. So that's what it is. We have a fun show today. We're going to go west and visit with one of my favorite guys. Who's joining us today?
Well, mine too. We're very big fans and friends with our guest today. R.W. Hampton is our very special guest on Campfire Cafe today. And so brace yourself for a great show. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it. Brace yourself.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Get ready. Get ready for a great show.
That sounds better.
Saddle up for a great show.
He has a great new album out. We're going to be playing music from the new album. And it's called My Country. We have anticipated this for a while, so it's going to be a lot of fun visiting with RW and sharing music from My Country. We're going to listen to a little word from a good friend of ours from Canada, Mr. Glenn Stewart at the Horse Ranch. As a matter of fact, Glenn's going to be joining us on Saddle of America in just a few days. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But let's take a listen to him, and we will be back shortly to talk with Mr. R.W. Hampton today on the Campfire Cafe.
Hey guys, it's Glenn Stewart from the Horse Ranch up in northern British Columbia. Every summer here at the Horse Ranch, we have what we call our horsemanship camps, and they last anywhere from 4 days to 8 days, 12, 16 days, up to a month long. Everybody's here for the same reason, to improve their horsemanship. A typical day for the student is they get up in the morning, go feed their horse, clean their pens. Then we meet at 9 o'clock around the campfire and we do a question and answer period. Then we head down to play with the horses, stop for an hour and a half for lunch, give everybody a rest, and then head back down from 1:30 to 4:30-ish and play with the horses again. And then the evenings are usually spent around the campfire talking about the woulda, coulda, shouldas and what they learned and the challenges that they had, and telling stories with new friends and like-minded people. Once you arrive at the Horse Ranch, it's nothing but eating, sleeping, and horsemanship. You can rent a room here at the Horse Ranch, or you can pull in with your camper. If you want to improve your horsemanship, join us here at the Horse Ranch for one of our camps or all of our camps. See you this summer.
up in the morning, that's if I ever went to bed. Headed for the next town, can't believe that I'm not dead. I ain't too much on goodbyes, so I left her a little note. She couldn't keep up with me anyhow, and besides I'm too dang broke. Running from a memory, chasing down a dream, living off the moonlight, the wind and caffeine. I'm not here to stay too long, but I'll sing you a song. Don't be judging me, 'cause I'm just living free. All I need is these old wore-out boots and a guitar in my hand. Pretty girl to sing for and a stage where I can stand. I might be your worst nightmare, your friend or enemy. I'm here to capture you and then I'll up and set you free. Running from a memory, chasing down a dream, living off the moonlight, the wind and caffeine. I'm not here to stay too long, but I'll sing you a song. Don't be judging me, 'cause I'm just living free. This way of life gets out of control. That's what happens, boys, when you've got music in your soul. Running from a memory, chasing down a dream, living off the moonlight, the wind and caffeine. I'm not here to stay too long, but I'll sing you a song. Don't be judging me, 'cause I'm just living free. No, don't be judging me, 'cause I'm just living free.
Living free, R.W. Hampton. Hey, R.W., how are you?
Howdy. Good to see y'all.
Good to see you, my friend. Great album. This is a great album.
Thank you. Yeah, we're real proud of it. And yeah, thank you much. Oh, I hope everybody likes it.
I think they will. So this is a companion album
Yes.
to another album. Which album was that?
This Cowboy.
This Cowboy.
This Cowboy, My Country. They're kind of bookends to each other. With a pandemic and a few other things in between, we had hoped it would come out sooner, but we're sure glad it's out now.
Well, everything is in its own time.
Yes,
God does things in his own time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so it was just time for this thing to come out, and it's absolutely fantastic. So Aaron Metter did a lot of the work on this album for you.
Yes,
How
he
did
did.
that come about?
I met Aram years ago through Rich O'Brien.
Okay.
And I always thought the world of him and everything. He went from kind of like almost being like a son to a brother, and but we've shared some good moments in the studio, and I thank Rich O'Brien for trusting Aram and then bringing him into my life. But I always liked the way Aram made my voice sound, and that doesn't mean that he manipulated it, but he just knew how to pull out the good stuff, Yeah. And so he's kind of my go-to guy down there.
Well, he does a great job, and he did okay like you and I did. He married up.
Yes, he did.
He married up.
I think that makes us a part of a really special brotherhood, Gary.
I think so. I think,
Yeah.
and the other part of it is that he and Kristen got married just a few days after Mary Kay and I got married.
That's right.
It was,
So for our listening audience, Aaron Metter, he and Kristen Harris, who is an incredible singer-songwriter, they're married. And so, yeah, beautiful young couple.
I got to sing at their wedding that I'll be loving you always.
Oh my
And that was
goodness.
fun. That's what they requested. And so, they had a nice band and we ran through it. But
Oh, beautiful.
what a great
they're a sweet couple. They came and visited. They were here for the Josie Awards a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
And they came and spent a lot of time with us. We took them out to eat and had a big time visiting with both of those guys. And Kristen, I've talked about my rendezvous a little bit earlier. Kristen actually performed at a couple of my rendezvous for me.
Well, yeah, and she played bass for me on several different occasions, and she sings she sings some harmony on the album that you're playing.
Oh,
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
she's
cool.
in the background there on that Living Free and some other song. I don't remember. Didn't you jump in on some, Mary?
I think so. I
Lisa
think
and I were trying to remember which ones you sang background on as well.
I did. And I
was
can't
hoping
remember the
as you
names.
listen, maybe
Yeah.
it would come back to you at some point. But
Well,
Yeah.
if we play those today, maybe she'll recognize us.
yeah.
That could be okay. That would be okay. So how did this album finally come together? Because we had been looking for it for a while, as you said, pre COVID. But how did it finally come together, RW?
Well, golly, Lisa and I have talked about it back and forth for years, and it just kept kind of getting stalled. And I didn't listen to it forever because I honestly, I'm hard on myself. I think, man, I wish I could get back and recut that, and do that again. Boy, if I could do that today. And but I think Lisa and I were on a trip somewhere across the West driving, and she said, "Okay, we're going to listen to this album," and it held up,
Yeah.
it still held up, and we've added a couple of songs to it, and but no, this summer, July the 9th, I had to have really extreme open heart surgery.
Wow.
And I don't know. Lisa and I joke, or she says, well, when RW decided he was going to live, I decided we were going to put that album.
Gosh. Well, when you go through something that's traumatic and you come out on the other side, okay,
Yeah.
it makes you look at life a little bit differently than maybe you had been in the past. And
No, absolutely, Gary. As a lot of entertainers, I've spent a lot of my life living from one mountaintop, whether it's the Wrangler Awards or whatever, or the Grand Ole Opry, and then you have all this life, but you're just always looking at the other peak.
right.
Coming out on the other side, I kind of decided that the living was in the moments,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like they say, there's the date you're born and the date you die on a tombstone, and the dash. Your life is that dash.
That's the dash. Yeah.
And so I try to, and I still get swept up in trying to achieve and get things done, but I tend to be living more in the moment than I used to.
That's good. That is
Yeah.
good. That's the way we should all live.
Well, we should.
Yeah. And Mary Kay tells me, she says, we got to do some traveling together. And and we haven't. She's gone out and done her shows out in the West or wherever.
Yep.
And I kind of stay home and take care of Sam. But we may do something a little bit different come October. I don't know.
Well, and Lisa and I spend so much time together, and I know couples who have been married, for many decades, but he may get up and go somewhere in the morning, and she may go somewhere in the morning, and they see each other in the evening, and that's the way life generally is. But Lisa and I are around each other 24/7, and we still love each other.
And she puts up with you. Golly.
Well, here's the thing: my love will never die, but sometimes we don't like each other. But yeah, everything from our decisions on the music and the ranching and the kids, we just all do it. We do it together, and that's the way I like it.
Well, and I think Lisa's the executive producer on this album.
She sure is.
And
talk about a vision and an idea person. She is amazing. I've learned finally that no vehicle is too small for the amount of groceries she can try to put in there. And I've learned when she says, hey, you know what? We ought to think about doing so and so. I need to swallow hard, don't question it, and go for it, because she's made some things happen that have been amazing. Like the video for Living Free was done in Elko during the gathering. I think I had 5 major performances I did with their sound checks, and she's out scouting locations and getting all this together. And at the same time, none of our stuff made it in Salt Lake City. And she just, anyhow, she's amazing.
Pretty amazing. Well, I want to mention that's a really neat video, because we had a few friends that I recognized in there.
Oh yeah.
Ben Park was in there, and Joel White was in there.
Joel,
and, probably some other folks that we know as well. But it was a really cool video. And
it's a song I mentioned before. I think when we were talking before the show, I mentioned my son that works for the 4-6s Ranch.
Yeah,
he's been a cowboy all his life and a fabulous horseman. In fact, around here, I'm known as Coulter Hampton's dad. And that tickles the heck out of me. But years ago, he was rodeoing for a Texas university on a scholarship. And he was also going to songwriter nights at the White Elephant in Fort Worth and all these places. And apparently he was trying to actually go to class occasionally. And so that was a song that came out of that era that he wrote. And I wrote, there's a bridge in there, a musical bridge. I put the bridge in there to break it up and wrote that part. But that's his song, and his younger brother Danner plays him in the video.
Yeah.
And since Coulter's, leaning on 40 now, then we got our 24-year-old son Danner to play that part.
And Danner's performed with you quite a bit as well. So.
Yes, he has. And he has a duet on this album as well that called Going Home. It's a veterans tribute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great song.
I want to mention real quickly, we talked about the video. We were talking about the video. So we are heard all around the world on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and most streaming platforms. And because Mary Kay was insistent, we are now on YouTube. And so you can not only hear this music, but you can see a lot of it, and you can see our guest when you go to YouTube and look for Equestrian Legacy Radio. I'm going to get to another song that's a new song on the album with called West Texas Town. Who's on this song with you?
Jake Hooker and the Outsiders. And Jake, golly, growing up in Texas and Texas swing, he's got it. He's got it happening, And West Texas Town. And I'll just tell you this right quick, that the album seemed a little heavy to me.
Yeah.
And I think Lisa and I agreed on that. And that was one of the reasons that held us back on it for so long. And she said, well, we just need to find an upbeat song, And so my 19-year-old's walking through the house. He says, I know the song, guys. Sit down. Let me play it for you. And it's a Dean Dillon, Robert Earl Keen song that's buried in the back of the Troubadour album that George Strait did.
Okay.
And Lisa and I looked at each other and we nodded, and she called Aram up and then got Jake in the studio with us, and we slowed the song down a little bit so it could swing more.
Okay.
And if you know the way George and Dean Dillon did it, it was cute, but it was real frantic, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
But I wanted the fiddles and everything to have the swing to it. So that's how that song came about.
Well, let's take a listen to West Texas Town. It is from the album My Country. We'll be back in just a moment with Mr. R.W. Hampton today on the Campfire Cafe.
I'm on my way to Amarillo. I can't seem to get my fill of that little West Texas town. I've got a sweet thing built right Betty head to toe. She's mighty pretty living in that West Texas town. Friday comes, it's time to roll. Time for me to hit the road. I've got my eyes on the horizon. My little dish in that panhandle lights up like a Roman candle when I reach that West Texas town. Big Spring all the way to Plainview, I can't wait to get to you-know-who in that West Texas town. I'd drive through hell in half of Texas just to get to her by breakfast, waiting in that West Texas town. Friday comes, it's time to roll, time for me to hit the road. I've got my eyes on the horizon. My little dish in that panhandle lights up like a Roman candle when I reach that West Texas town. Baby, keep the porch light on, 'cause your big papa's coming home to that West Texas town. Here we go, Jake, we're going, headed up to 87.
Now, what's that little speed trap there at Esteli?
Oh yeah, we made her through just right.
Well, you're on the home stretch now.
Can't wait to see that gal. That's what I'm talking about.
Mary Kay and I were just dancing just along. I don't know.
Isn't that a fun song?
That is
Isn't
a
that
great
a fun
song.
song?
That
And
is
we just got in the studio. Jake wrote up a lead sheet for all the boys. You know, 3 of those kids are his sons. And and we just started running through it. And, you know, nowadays we use overdubs to our advantage, but it was just really fun to get in there and just do it live, you know.
Oh, it's great.
And I just, yeah.
That ending is really cute. I thought that was just the chord progression at the chord progression at the end, and
yeah,
fun. It's just a fun recording.
You bet. No agendas. Not trying to tell anybody. It's just about a guy looking forward to seeing his gal.
Yeah.
West Texas town. When did you and Mary Kay meet?
Oh my goodness.
I remember the first time that I saw y'all, it was at IWMA. You had won Male Performer of the Year.
We both got tailored guitars, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had won Female Vocalist of the Year. And we both got Taylor guitars, and I still play that guitar. Yep.
My son, the Cowboys were the 4/6s. He broke his. Can you imagine a cowboy breaking his guitar? But he has the Taylor that I got that same night.
Oh, nice.
I do remember. Was that? I mean, I'd heard you before, but was that the first time we actually met?
I think that is the first time.
I think it is. And I remember thinking she is amazing, but she is so very shy. Shy.
Well,
Yeah. You would never know it now, would you?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
No, I think she was just really, reserved, and she probably had a lot of people telling her how wonderful she is, And
it's kind of interesting. I was talking before the show. I was talking about the fact that Michael Martin Murphey was the first guest I'd had on my show, and he was playing during Americana Fest down at Two Old Hippies in the Gulch.
Yeah.
And he invited me down there for the show.
Oh, yeah.
And so I came down and I brought Marianne Kennedy with me. You and Lisa were there, and Mary Kay and her ex were there, and I didn't meet any of you guys. I didn't know any of you were down there.
I was hiding behind a clothes rack, I think, somewhere over there.
I guess. But
I remember that. Well, and I think Lance was there as well.
Lance was there. Yeah, he was publicist, and I met Murph's granddaughter Fiona, and of course Ryan, her dad.
Right. And
had a great visit with Fiona. And I was thinking, there should be something to do to help kids with osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bone disease.
Yeah.
And that's where Rendezvous was born.
Yeah.
And so I set up Rendezvous for the first time to raise money for Murph's Foundation for brittle bone disease. And we did that 2 more times after that first one. And then the next one, I think, was at Loretta Lynn's Ranch, where we did one for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's Foundation down there. So it's always great to be able to give back to some good cause.
It very much is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember that you guys were all down there and I didn't get to meet any of you. So, who knew?
Who knew?
It's a small world after all.
It's a small world. So when did you guys first start singing together?
I think Lisa had called and asked if I could do a duet for No Wilder Place.
And that's another one of her great ideas. Yeah.
She's just, she has a vision for things.
And a great ear. And, but yeah, I remember when she said, you and Mary Kay have to do this song. I said, well, baby, it might be, we're all busy and getting everyone together. It's going to be. So she picks up the phone and she just does it,
That's how you do things.
She'll be here day after tomorrow. So
it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And I remember there was a tornado warning, I think.
Yes.
Was that the night we had the tornado?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
It was going, well, you could open the door and hear it outside tearing those old oaks and mesquites up.
Oh, wow.
Then I remember we moved the furniture apart and we were going to throw the kids in there. And remember that?
I do.
We had a basset hound or something as well, but yeah. And Rich looked at it and he said, I think I'll just die out here and watch all this go down, But anyhow, we were spared, but no, it was a serious tornado.
Oh, wow.
It was.
So was that in Cimarron?
In Burleson.
No, in Burleson.
At Aram Studio, yeah.
Okay.
And it's the first time I met your 2 youngest sons.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And Lisa had asked if I could help keep an eye on them while y'all were in the studio that day. And I thought, I can handle these boys. So I met them down in the lobby, and I'll never forget those 2 boys with their swim trunks on, no shirts, their little skinny boy bodies, swim trunks, and their cowboy boots.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Big old grins on their faces. And I just have loved those guys ever since. And just saw them recently at the Western Heritage Awards in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And they're all grown up and have girlfriends now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're they're adult males now, so we'll see what they can get into.
Time waits for no
Exactly.
man or woman. It just
That's
keeps,
right.
it keeps on going. Well, we've talked about it. We're going to play it right now. This
Yes.
is No Wilder Place.
This
Man,
has the
it's
most
our-
beautiful note sung by any female in the world on this song, and it's "Sky's no longer blue." Pay attention when that line comes up.
Well, let's take a
And
listen.
I'll be wiping my eyes again.
Thanks, RW.
This is from the album My Country. We'll be back in just a moment.
Where the warm winds blow and the sky is so blue, in this land of enchantment, my enchantment is in you.
You're right on the wild side, with the edge looming nigh. I can't be there to catch you under that blue New Mexico sky.
It's as plain as black and white. You're on the left,
You're on the right. There's a north blowing. The sky's no longer blue.
there is no wilder place. That is the truth we face. There is no wilder place than between the wind and you.
I've waited so long now for that final call, when you hang up your rigging and your spurs on the wall.
For no love is wasted, but sometimes must fly. So I'll go find my freedom under that blue New Mexico sky. It's as plain as black and white.
You're on the left,
You're on the right. There's a norther blowing, sky's no longer blue.
and there is no wilder place
There is no wilder place than between the wind and you.
Got to unmute your mic, Mary Kay.
That song just transports you, doesn't it? Just sends you.
Yeah, when we recorded that, I think we both opened doors to some kind of a closet full of hurt that we,
Yeah.
maybe didn't even know was there. And if you remember, Rich O'Brien was going through a divorce at the time. And anyhow, his guitar playing is just but it's a classic story. I've known a couple of cases of men and women, one, they loved each other, but it just wasn't going to happen, and I don't know of a greater tragedy than that, but I knew of a couple in the Cimarron country, and he was an old Vietnam vet, and he was a good cowboy, but carried a lot of old wounds about him. And she tried to love him, but they just never could quite make a life of it, And so that's what that song is about. And that's from a Les Buffum poem, isn't it?
It sure is. He was giving Kip Callahan a hug.
Yeah.
And the wind blew off between the hug and the wind blowing. It blew off his hat.
Yeah.
And I think she said to him, "Between the wind and you."
Wow.
And that's what spurred the inspiration for that song. But it's just beautiful. And that the guitar player that you're hearing in that background is the great Rich O'Brien.
Yeah.
And listening to it through at that time, you do feel all that heartache. But it was a trio, really. It was a
really.
trio.
No. Very much so.
Beautifully produced. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And then also you complimented me on my note, but you did the same note in the second part of the song and did it just as beautifully.
I was trying to copy you, sister.
Wow.
I thought, oh my goodness. But yeah, if you, I don't know, it's just an amazing note, and I tried to match it, but wow, I don't know. That heart breaks me every time in a really good way. And Lisa and I've been talking about doing a video for this.
I think it would really be beautiful.
Yeah.
My suggestion is this: you two guys are awesome together, and for our audience that's listening around the world, if you would like to see Mary Kay and RW in a mini tour together, reach out to us and let us know. But I think that would be ideal. And I'm sitting there listening to that song, and I'm thinking, okay, I've got 2 Wrangler Award winners sitting here. What if they wrapped up the tour in Oklahoma City at the museum the night before the Wranglers started?
That would be very cool.
That certainly would. Yes.
Think about that. And
I don't have to think about it.
Yes.
That'd be
personal. Yeah.
We just need a
Lisa.
Line them all up.
We need a Lisa to get this thing going. I think that would work. I would think that.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for it. You know that.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Well, there's more music that I want to get to on the album. The album is My Country. It is full of great music. And we're going to get to another song right now. Texas being Texas. Tell us about this song.
Yeah, that's another kind of a fun song. I think the story behind it, that I had been at that National Cowboy Symposium in Lubbock.
Okay.
That the Ranching Heritage Center had a part in years ago at Texas Tech. And I had Cooper and Coulter, my 2 oldest boys, but I think they were about 8 and 10 at the time. And, you know, Lubbock, I love Lubbock. I love the people, the music that's coming out of there. But on an old kind of a gray winter day, and there's dust in the air, it looks a little bleak sometimes.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the South Plains. But so we were leaving there on a Sunday, and it was that just exactly like I described it. And the wind was blowing dust, and it was gray. And I was explaining to the boys, we were headed southeast to another gig somewhere. And I was explaining to them, I said, boys, now this used to be the Llano Estacado State Plains, and there weren't any of these old cotton fields or anything around. It was grass, and it was an unbelievable savanna of grass that went on forever. But it's all plowed up now, and they grow a lot of crops on it and so forth. And so anyhow, so we're headed south and east, and we get to the edge of the Balcones Escarpment. That's where we call the Cap Rock. And it's just flat, and then it just drops off. And you can see, and it's all broken. It was, you know, once the Comancheria where the Comanches rode. And so we pulled out a little roadside stop there and looking out across there. And my 8-year-old Coulter at the time said, "Wow, Daddy, now here, Texas is just being Texas, isn't it?" And I went, "Yeah." And I started piddling with that, and I called Red Stegall, and he said, "Oh, RW, we got to write this deal." So it's just kind of a love letter to Texas, thanks to something that an 8-year-old said. Awesome. It's just Texas being Texas, Daddy.
Awesome. You can never tell where these hooks are going to come from. Let's take a listen to this great song. We're going to come back and talk with R.W. Hampton in just a moment on the Campfire Cafe.
Golden sunrise brightens up an ashen morning sky. A hazy purple sunset says goodbye at twilight time. That big old Texas moon is mine and only mine. It's just Texas, being Texas ain't she fine. Blue stem grass is weighted down by early morning dew. Indian paintbrush, black-eyed Susan bonnets painted blue. Honeybees are buzzing round a honeysuckle vine. It's just Texas, being Texas in her prime. It's just Texas, being Texas, a place I love the most. Dry winds from the western plains are the salt air of the coast. From the lazy days of summer to the chill of winter time, it's just Texas, being Texas, and she's mine. A white-tailed doe is watchful as the fawn lays by her side. A baby raccoon finds a hollow tree where he can hide. The silence of the piney's broken by a raven's cry. It's just Texas, being Texas, she ain't shy. I hear voices of the settlers who have passed this way before. I see ghosts of horsemen riding across the open plains once more. As they trail the longhorn cattle from another place in time, it's just Texas, being Texas in my mind. It's just Texas, being Texas, a place I love the most. Dry winds from the western plains are the salt air of the coast. From the lazy days of summer to the chill of winter time, it's just Texas, being Texas, and she's mine. My mama's kin were Houston's men, and I have always known her great-granddaddy fell with Travis at the Alamo. When I see that Lone Star flag a-waving, I swell up inside, 'cause my heart and soul is filled with Texas pride. It's just Texas being Texas, a place I love the most. Dry winds from the western plains are the salt air of the coast. From the lazy days of summer to the chill of winter time, it's just Texas being Texas, and she's mine. Oh, she's Texas being Texas, a place I love the most. Dry winds from the western plains are the salt air of the coast. From the lazy days of summer to the chill of winter time, it's just Texas being Texas, and she's mine. It's just Texas being Texas, ain't she fine? It's just Texas being Texas, and she's mine.
Texas being Texas, R.W. Hampton. I left my mic open, and I suddenly realized I was whistling along with the song.
I don't remember us hiring a whistler to come in there, but dadgum.
And Mary Kay didn't even look up. She's so used to me whistling.
Well, I guess you're gonna need royalties now, don't you?
I guess.
He's a session whistler now.
Yeah, session whistler.
That's a song. That is such a great song. It's a great album. And for folks that are not on YouTube, you can't see what I'm holding up right now. Who did the artwork for you for the album? It's a great album. Great album.
The photographs were taken by Scott Slusher and dadgummit, I'll think of it here just a second. But Charlie Engel up there in
old Charlie.
Yeah. Chuckaroo the Buckaroo. He's not doing his radio show anymore, but he's designed several albums for us. So that was Jamie Dunlap did some of these photographs as well. And getting all that stuff together and then getting Lisa and have about 3 different computer screens and moving stuff around. Where's the horse was down here, and this was anyhow, I'm real pleased with the way it came out.
Well, it looks great. It looks great, and it sounds great. So I want to get to some more music. We're starting to run out of time. Go ahead, Mary Kay.
Yeah, I just want to ask a quick question because, Gary and I have our favorite guests, but we also have our favorite singers, and you're definitely one of mine. Sometimes you hang out with a singer and you just want to say, can you just start singing? I think I've said that to you once before, just saying. Anyway, last night I was with some other performers, the Gone with the West band, and we were asking each other, what was that first moment that you saw another person sing that you realized, hey, I think I'd like to do that? What was that moment for you? And who was that person?
When I was a kid, there was an artist that my whole family, my folks came up in the 30s, and my family loved, all ages, from kids to and that was Merle Haggard. And so, it was a beautiful time when we could all listen. There wasn't young folks music and adult music. We all liked what Haggard did. And my dad took me one time to see Merle at the State Fair Music Hall in Dallas. Huge venue inside. And I remember the tickets were $8.50 for the cheap ones and like 13 something for the
Oh,
more
wow.
expensive. My dad said, son, I think we can spend the money to get the expensive tickets, you know. And yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. And he had been playing all the songs that I knew and loved with the strangers up there, and they were a wonderful, just tight group. It was just amazing. But for whatever reason that day, he decided to do something with just he and his guitar. And he was announcing the next song, and he said, this is a song that y'all have requested, and one of my favorite songs I've written called Sing Me Back Home.
Mm.
And you could see the band kind of getting ready, and he kind of went like that.
Wow.
And he just started playing it and singing it.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That's powerful.
Yeah, great song.
That was powerful to me. And then another time, I was home from one of my ranch jobs visiting my folks, and Marty Robbins was going to be at the Windmill Dinner Theater in Dallas. And so I had bought a ticket to see him with about 250 people in a small room, and that just completely.
A couple of great
Those two different times, and there's one other where we went to see Johnny Cash with Billy Graham, and Cash just, holy Moses, man. He walks up to the microphone and says, "Oh, I'm Johnny Cash," as if he had to tell anybody. I think those three incidents, and especially the one with Merle with just his guitar, just lit a fire in me somehow.
Oh, wow. When Merle Haggard passed away, I don't recall any artist in Nashville that received more accolades and more comments and more love than he did. And that was just pretty amazing to me. And
I shook his hand one time, and I don't know if I could have, I think I'm very seldom starstruck, and I've been around quite a few of them, but and I couldn't say much. And then, I talked to Marty after that show. I had sent him a demo tape recorded in my garage, and with a wire hair fox terriers running around in there, and I'd gotten a nice letter back that he signed that said, "Hey, I, appreciate, you sending the music. Right now, there's nothing on here that I can use, but thank you so much. And please think of me again when you write some more songs." It was signed by Marty Robbins. So I took that letter with me to that show that night, and the goons at the backstage door, they were unshakable, man. I mean, they weren't going to let this cowboy kid, I bet I smelled like burnt cedar and mesquite, and it probably looked pretty rough too, but they weren't going to let me pass there. And so it was a great night, and I just got my old 3-speed pickup, and I went, it's been a great night. It's good enough. Let's call it good. And then I went, wait a minute. Well, I drove around back behind, and this bus was out there idling.
uh-huh.
And so I parked my truck, turned the headlights out, and I kind of pull my hat down, and here come one band member, and I go like that, and here come another, and I go like that. I was afraid someone was going to run me off, and they just kept going and kept going and kept going. And there's Bobby Sykes and Don Winters that were singing backup for him. And then I thought, well, maybe Marty's on the bus. What a lost cause, standing out here like a dummy, Well, then the door opened one more time, and it was Marty. And he had this really heavy hanging bag that was leather tool with saddle leather. And he wasn't a big man. And so he's standing there, and I introduced myself to him. and shook his hand, and I probably shook it for 15 minutes before I turned it loose. And he finally set his hanging bag down and talked to me. He talked to me for about 45 minutes out there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he told me some things that really profited me. And one of the things that he did say was that it's about entertainment. If you're not having a good time, they're not going to have a good time.
That's true.
And so that kind of helped me handle nervousness and mistakes and stuff like that, you know. And then he told me, you know, sometimes your voice is not always going to work like you want it to. And you're going to have to learn just to push on through.
Yeah.
And maybe let your, you know, the heart of the song will shine through, even if your voice is not sounding like what it's supposed to. And then he told me, he said, you probably don't know this, but I've had more disappointments. I've been knocked down more than I've had successes. And I went, are you kidding me? He said, no, all you've heard about is the
good stuff.
The hits, the publicity, but you don't know how many projects, how many different songs, you know, that really, I just thought, you know, here's a guy or a gal that's just got it all, and just bang, 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 you know. And so, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing that he's spent the time to share that. That's like, I mean, I've been performing for a little while now. That's gold. That's gold. It takes you years to figure that out.
Yeah. And I file those away, and because there have been times when I haven't sounded like I wanted to sound. You know, there's been times when my life has just been, as yours has been, Mary, at different times when you've had to go out and play for people when you were
torn up,
just torn up. And you have to realize, okay, these people, some of them have gone to great expense and time to get here, and I owe them, you know. And so, but all three of those things that he told me about that night to be mindful of, I've faced them all, and I know you have too. Yeah.
Well. So Marty Robbins, I saw close the Grand Ole Opry on the last Saturday night at the Old Ryman.
That's what I understood.
And I was standing outside as he came out in the alley between the Ryman and Tootsie's. And so I was with a couple of cousins from Kentucky, and they wanted to go get something to eat because by the time the Opry was over, it was kind of late, you know. We went out to Pancake Pantry, and lo and behold, who did we run into out there but Marty Robbins? And got to visit for just a few minutes with him. So that was kind of a cool deal. But
well, you know, back before I even entertained playing music for people for a living, when I was working at the ranches, living in the bunkhouse, and I remember one place we had electricity and running water, but it was just like a light bulb hanging down from the ceiling, you know. And you couldn't pick up a radio around there until it was just way after midnight. And but I had me the little suitcase style phonograph player, a record player, and I had that Marty Robbins Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs.
Wow.
And I'd listen to that, and some of them were old Cowboy songs, and then some of them were ones that he wrote, and I got to where I like the ones that he wrote as much or more than the actual old ones, and that's kind of what got me, well, why can't I write songs, you know?
Yeah.
And
you do it beautifully.
And it's interesting, RW, you still do that. You combine the old with the new.
Yeah,
which makes your performances have legacy to them, and they also have new material as well.
Well, then I grew up in a household. I mentioned Merle Haggard. Well, we listened to Tony Bennett and Sarah Vaughan and Ella, of course, and Dean Martin. So we had all of that, to listen
all of
to.
those influences.
You
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
Oh, I was an Andy Williams fan.
Oh, what a
Andy
voice.
Williams
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to get to another song. And this
Going to
is,
interfere with our visiting, Gary.
Yeah, gee.
we can come back.
What a buzz killer, man.
But,
But you just go ahead.
But this is an interesting song called Bonnie. Who was Bonnie?
Bonnie is a code name for my wife, Lisa Hampton. And when she and I married, I realized that she was, and I'm not being facetious or sorry, I just realized that the fictional Bonnie that I had sung about was really her.
Yeah.
And when she first started booking me, she didn't want anybody to know that it was my wife because it would make it seem like it's a little, mom and pop operation, which it was. But she said, "Hello, this is Bonnie Gray."
Oh, so she would use it too.
She used it at the start too.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, our kids love the story of how we met and got together, because I was 40 and she was 28 when we married, and I had 3 kids and she had 1, and we built 2 more from scratch, and so they love that story. So the part of how we met, and I was just this old cowboy, and actually I met her through her folks because her folks were fans of mine. And they had gone to Elko, and I met them several times, and they were shopping for talent for an event that they were putting together in Central Oregon. So I met her through them. And, but it's just a fun way of kind of a cartoon version of our romance, and it's fun.
Well, let's take a listen to Bonnie. We'll come back and talk more with RW and Mary Kay in just a moment on the Campfire Cafe.
I was forever a rambling man, never ever gonna settle down. And the girl that could turn my head, never ever could be found. But never say never, that's what they say, and I guess it was bound to be. When a girl named Bonnie tripped across my path and she stole my heart from me. Now I'm asking, oh my Bonnie, where you been, girl, all of my life? And oh my Bonnie, let's us go out tonight. And oh my Bonnie, I wanna spend all of my time with you, yes ma'am, with you. Oh. I fell fast and I fell hard, and you'd have thought it was turning spring. 'Cause I spent my time dreaming about forever and saving up for a ring. Well, long about June I'll shine my boots and find us a preacher man. Then I'll stand tall beside my Bonnie when I take her pretty hand. I'm gonna ask her, oh my Bonnie, where you been, girl, all of my life? And oh my Bonnie, let's us go out tonight. And oh my Bonnie, I wanna spend all of my time with you, yes ma'am, with you. Oh. She's too young, too good, too pretty for you. Yes, I've thought all about that. She'd never fall for a cowboy like you. Well, I wait while I grab my hat. Gonna ask her, oh my Bonnie, where you been, girl, all of my life? And oh my Bonnie, let's us go out tonight. And oh my Bonnie, I wanna spend all of my time with, oh
From My Country. That's Bonnie, and our guest today has been R.W. Hampton. I don't think this album is so heavy, R.W.
No, I don't think it
A
is.
lot of fun stuff on this album.
Yeah. And, I was looking at the liner notes here while you were playing that, and background vocals for Bonnie provided by Mary Kay.
Yeah. As it was playing, I was like, that's the song.
That's it. That's it. I remember, because I read that, or somehow when I got it in my mind, I actually remember you doing it that day, listening to it.
Yeah, I do. I remember. What a great song.
I got in kind of a little bit of a doo-wop kind of a thing there, and you just caught on to it. I thought, I kind of miss romance in music sometimes,
Yeah.
Well, you have some romantic albums. I remember we did a show with you a couple of years ago, the best of R.W. Hampton.
Yeah, I remember that.
I may have to do another one of those things. I mean, some great, great stuff that you've done over the years, but now you can add all of these songs on that as well. By the way, I don't have the liner notes in mind. Or Lance.
Oh, that's right.
We around or something. I don't know. What happened.
Well, what happened? There was a printing and folding problem, and so I have another copy that I signed for you that I'll be sending you that has the notes. And one other quick note is one of the fiddle players on West Texas Town, Jess Metter, was also the fiddle player on all this other stuff we've been listening that we recorded so long ago.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? Yeah.
That is really neat.
That is pretty neat. Well, you are a great guy to visit with.
Well, thank you.
I wish we had more time. We could take more time, but I don't want to tie you up all afternoon. So we're going to kind of wrap things up right now. Where are you headed next, my friend?
Well, Lord, I don't have my calendar. We've got some pending things coming up, and we have some gigs on the calendar, and I do apologize. I wasn't prepared for that, but we're getting ready to head to the ranch. This is the time of the year we take in some steers to pasture, and we've been in the middle of a drought, but we finally got some rain and a little light snow. And so we're going to go and get our horses shot up and get ready to receive about 350 head of steers from the Tongue River Ranch down in around Paducah, Texas. So we'll be doing we've got to play all this music, and do movies to help sustain our ranching habit.
That's how it goes.
Or vice versa. Yeah. Well, visit rwhampton.com and you can find out where he's going to be. You can purchase the music there. I encourage people to go to your websites to buy the music, not through CD Baby and all these different outlets. That way you get the money from that. They don't.
You betcha.
We'd encourage folks to do
and
that.
We still got a kid in college, so we could your cards, letters, and contributions would be greatly appreciated.
Exactly.
We know how that is, don't we, Mary Kay?
Yes.
Well, ours is majoring in campus life right now, and so, but I think once he figures out what he wants to major in, we'll be doing fine.
Oh, that's great. That is great. We're going to wrap things up with a song and the video, Who, and tell us who's in this video. You've got family in this one.
Yes, I do. There's a big old burly kid with a beard. I think he's got a red plaid coat, and that's my boy Coulter that wrote The Living Free, and he manages the Dixon Creek division of the Four Sixes Ranch.
Wow.
Now, of course, Lisa's in there, and then my boy Danner and Ethan. And Coulter's kids, Maggie Ann, Laney Jean, and Jasper James.
Wow.
And if you ask me to give you their birthdays, there's
like
always a birthday around our family. I can't keep it memorized. But anyway, I know it's family. It's family and very close friends. And, not to get up on my soapbox, but ranching right now is kind of endangered. economically, and also there's some other things with the encroachment and land issues and stuff. And so I just wanted to quickly remind those of us who live that lifestyle that it's worth fighting for.
Yeah.
And folks that don't know anything about it to say, hey, here's something we need to hold dear to us, because if we lose it, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gone.
Well, going back to that first video and first song that we did, kind of wrote all that out. So that's
Sure.
kind of a cool deal. Well, RW, good to talk to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Mary Kate on tour.
Yes.
We just have to get it booked.
We need Colonel Parker to call up after this.
Yeah,
you
where's
go.
he
That
at?
sounds good.
What's
That
his
sounds
number?
Good. Well, this is who RW Hampton, and thanks, my friend. We appreciate you. Adios.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Go.
Yeah.
Who's gonna live out in the country when everybody finally moves to town? Who'll tend the cattle and fields, watch another family ranch go down? Where you gonna buy your roast and beefsteak? Where's a hungry man gonna find a loaf of bread? Who'll show our kids a country sunrise when our way of life is finally dead? Who's gonna stay? Who'll pray for rain? Who'll fight the fires when it gets dry? Who'll carry on when all of us are gone? If home on the range is just an old song from the past. We've been here 100 years this August. Granddaddy's father proved this land. Now the banker wants to see me first thing Monday. Lord, it's getting hard to make a stand. Shepherds had to up and move last Friday. Said that they weren't sure where they were bound. It's not the boss's fault, just can't afford them anymore. Another cowboy walks the streets of town. Who's gonna stay? Who'll pray for rain? Who'll fight the fires when it gets dry? Who'll carry on when all of us are gone? Is home on the range just an old song from the past? Who's gonna live out in the country everybody finally moves to town.
R.W. Hampton. The song is Who, and Mary Kay, what a great guest.
I
love
know. Well, that video, boy, I have tears in my eyes. That's really beautifully done.
it. It is beautifully done. It's a great album, My Country, R.W. Hampton. We're going to encourage you to visit his website, rwhampton.com, and see where he's performing and pick up his music. Great, great music. We want to thank all of our sponsors, and those are the sponsors you'll find on our website at equestrianlegacy.net. Those are the sponsors you'll find in the general store, where you'll find everything for the horse lover and folks that just love the Western and equestrian lifestyle, and our Legacy Select horse campgrounds and guest ranches for the finest riding destinations in North America. Be sure and visit our Legacy Select horse campgrounds and guest ranches. You'll find all of those on our website at equestrianlegacy.net. Where are you headed next, darling?
I think I don't have any big plans. I think until September. I have an album that needs to go out into the world. So I have this summer to get that done.
Looking forward to Midnight Mustang, and I'm going to tell you, I'm listening to some of the music on there, and there's some awesome songs on there.
Thanks, honey.
I'll just tell you now, Pearl Snap Cowboy is one of my favorites. Look for that coming out first, but that will be coming soon. Well, we want to invite you to join us for all of our shows. You can join us for Saddle Up America on Saturdays, live from Nashville on Tuesdays, and the Campfire Cafe every Thursday. You can find all of our shows on our website at equestrianlegacy.net, on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, most streaming platforms, and now, thanks to Mary Kay Holt, we are on YouTube.
Hooray! Yeah.
Equestrian Legacy Radio. We're going to close the show today. And by the way, I want to thank all of you guys, wherever you are in the world.
Yes, thank you.
Listening to our show and joining us, and we continue to grow. 80 countries, over 1,200 cities right now that are listening.
Incredible.
Shows, wow. And we sure appreciate that. We're going to close this show today with a great song from Mr. Don Edwards called Coyotes. But the photography on this is from a gentleman named David R. Stockline, and I probably am not pronouncing his right name, Stockline. But it is absolutely a great video and a great song, and both David and Don are gone now. And so let's take a listen and look at that. We'll see you next time on the Campfire Cafe. Thanks for joining us.
Was a cowboy I knew in South Texas. His face was burnt deep by the sun. Part history, part sage, part Mexican. He was there when Pancho Villa was young, and he'd tell you a tale of the old days when the country was wild all around. Sit out under the stars of the Milky Way and listen while the coyotes howl. They go, woo yip, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo yip, woo, woo yip, woo yip. Now the longhorns are gone and the drovers are gone, The Comanches are gone, and the outlaws are gone. Geronimo's gone, and Sam Bass is gone, and the lion is gone, and the red wolf is gone. Well, he cursed all the roads and the old men, and he cursed the automobile. Said this is no place for an hombre like I am, in this new world of asphalt and steel. Then he'd look off someplace in the distance at something only he could see. He'd say all that's left now of the old days, damned old coyotes and me. And they go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, ooh. Now the longhorns are gone, and the drovers are gone. The Comanches are gone, the outlaws are gone. Now Cointreau's gone, Stanwatee's gone, and the lion is gone, and the red wolf is gone. One morning they searched his adobe. He disappeared without even a word. But that night as the moon crossed the mountain, one more coyote was heard. And he'd go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh,